VMP at Arch. VMP is my babe. God is my shepherd. All day, every day. Yeah. Check. It's Maneza F8. Everybody like me.
Now remember that writing is new and
Everybody like me. They used to like me. Even all my exes, they still love me. They still love me. Dude, who doesn't like me? Who doesn't like me? Everybody likes me.
Oh man, what it is, man. What's up?
What is up with you, man? What's up?
Yo. Welcome to FKU Africa Podcast. This is your host, Maneza F8, coming to you. Still in Worcester, chilling. Survived fully. I'm 100% now. The Delta has tried to take me down, but I'm surviving. I'm 100% recovered, as you can see. I'm well, and my eyes are no longer short and small anymore. Yeah, man, I'm good. So yeah, man, I don't wanna waste any time on this one, man. It's just with this Afghanistan thing that has been happening for the past 2 weeks. We all know now what have happened in Afghanistan. Taliban is back and people are running away. Somehow, this has become an African problem now. The USA problem has become our problem. I don't understand how do we even get to be involved in this refugee problem, because apparently now people are running away and people are now becoming refugees in other countries, and somehow Africa is going to host a number of people from Afghanistan that are escaping the harsh treatment that is going to come upon them by Taliban. Hopefully not, though, but because the Taliban spokesperson has promised that they will not treat people as bad as they did in the early 2000s, and a woman will be allowed to work and girls will be allowed to go and to school and study, and also people who are not Muslims and people who are different tribes and clans will not be persecuted as they did last time. So if the promises of the Taliban now, they can carry them through and be real to their word, so I see no need for people of Afghanistan running away. Only the people who were working hand to hand with Americans, people who were working in the American camps, translating, working for the army, people who were directly linked to America that can actually go to America and enjoy life for their services. But there's really no need for people to be running away their homes and going to stay in the refugee camps in other places that they don't even know if these Taliban are really gonna stick into their word, which we all hope that they will do, because it's not going to only benefit them as Taliban, it's going to benefit also the people of Afghanistan, because if they're not treating people as good as they should, human rights and all these kind of organizations and all these human rights police countries like your America, England, probably Germany or France will now find a way of going back there and form the bases and go into another war where they will be going to the war in a way that they will say that they were protecting human rights. So I don't think Taliban wants that now. I think they are had enough of staying in the bushes, in the mountains for over 20 years. So I don't think they want that. But the only thing that I don't understand is how did this become an African problem? Like, if you can check this article, it's not only this article. It's Taliban take over Uganda to take in 2,000 Afghan refugees. So if you can see that Uganda is not even promising. They were asked by USA to take in those 2,000, probably more than that. This is just the beginning. More than this will come to Uganda and also spread to other African countries. It's not only going to be only Uganda problem. It's going to be an African problem that is started by the US, and now we should just accept it. If you can read the Uganda is to take in 2,000 refugees who had fled Afghanistan after Taliban military took power on Sunday. The deal was agreed following the request of the US government. The refugee minister, Esther Nyukan, told the BBC the first group of 500 Afghans were expected to arrive on Tuesday, but officials now says discussion about the arrangements are still ongoing. Uganda has long history of welcoming refugees and is currently home to around 1.3 million people. The East African nation has the largest number of refugees in any country in Africa and the third largest in the world. The new Afghan arrivals will be tested for COVID-19 before they are sent to isolation centers, Ms. Anyakun says. So this is where we are. This is where we are as Africans. A problem that is started by Americans has become the problem of Africa, and we just gonna be sitting this out and be quiet about it. I don't even think that most of you know about this. I don't think even most of Africans, wherever you are in Africa, I don't think Africans knows about this. But it's happening. It's happening. Let's just listen to this gentleman and see.
Afghanistan. Hello everyone, this is Eye on Africa for Wednesday, August 25th. Here are the headlines. More than 50 Afghan refugees arrive in Uganda at the request of the United States. 2,000 more are expected to be flown there in the coming days. South Africa's unemployment rate skyrockets to its highest level in 13 years. More than a third of South Africans are now without a job, the highest number worldwide. And we will take you to Djibouti to tell you the story of their national dish, a story that began hundreds of years ago in another continent. But first, 51 Afghan refugees in Uganda are in Uganda after flying there from Afghanistan. In a statement, the country's foreign ministry said the United States requested it host at-risk Afghans while they're being processed. 2,000 further arrivals are expected in the coming days. France 24's Bastien Renouille reports from Nairobi.
The 51 refugees arrived in Entebbe airport this Wednesday morning aboard a privately chartered flight. They underwent security screenings before being tested for COVID-19, and then they went to an hotel where they will quarantine for the next days. About 3 buses, we could see these men, women and children looking through the windows to discover this country that will host them for the next few weeks. They will only stay in Uganda for a short period of time because, according to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs refugees from Uganda. They're here in transit. They will soon go to the United States or to other countries worldwide. Uganda is the first country in Africa to host Afghan refugees, but it won't be the only one. Rwanda already announced that they will receive soon 250 girls and their teacher from the only boarding school for girls in Afghanistan. They're currently in Qatar. They should fly soon to Kigali, and they will stay in Rwanda for at least a semester. The director of this school said that they will then go back to Afghanistan if the situation on the ground allows it. But it's impossible for now to say if the Taliban will allow this school to reopen one day, and if these girls and their teacher will be able to go back to their country safely.
Now here's a quick look at some of today's top stories from across the continent. 3 police officers and a security guard have been killed.
Alright, so the main story that I was interested in here is the story of the Afghanistan people who are being shipped to Africa. As you can listen to the gentleman says that those were the first group of Afghans that have come to Africa, and those will not be the last. I've just said that, and he's also saying it that those won't be the last to come to Africa. I have nothing against people seeking refugee who are coming to certain places who are filled with war and places who are bad for the conditions of the people to stay in who are seeking refugee. But as we all understand, this is not an African problem. This is not a problem that should be taken up on us by Africans. These problems should be taken by the Americans who caused these kind of problems in the first place by going into war, into meaningless war with Afghanistan for more than 20 years, and now they're coming out of the war with nothing, and they are only now coming up with burdens of people that need the refugee. Now they're scattering around these people. They're just throwing them wherever they can because they don't want this kind of the amount of the refugees that are coming to America or are going to America. They don't want these numbers filling in and just be they're gonna be overwhelmed because they need to shelter these people, they need to feed them, they need to make sure that they are taken care of. This is too much work for one country, but America is the biggest country. The economy is there. They can take care of these people, but they're shipping them around. The first place that they can think of is Africa, and I have a problem with that. And you should have a problem with that. Africa cannot be a dumping site, as they always do. It cannot work like that. We cannot tolerate that as Africans. We should at least make sure that we have a say. Although we want it, even if we have a say, it doesn't matter because no one will listen. But at least we should know. You should know that this is happening. There's a lot of stuff that we don't know that are happening, but they are happening. Even with the vax that is being thrown into Africa, it is happening like that. People are being threatened by the government to take the vax. Otherwise, certain rights or certain things that they normally do, they won't be able to enjoy them anymore. A certain establishment, they won't be going into those establishments anymore. They are trying by all means to threaten people to take this vax. This is what happens in Africa. This is the kind of situations. This is the kind of living that we are getting used to. Or this is the kind of situations we are getting used to. There was an important story that I heard from those news about South Africa reaching the highest unemployment rate. Let's just see if we can find a good story. South Africa reaching highest is unemployment rate. Let's just see if we can find a good story about it. It's coming out in the first. So it says the 32.6%. Wow. There's a lot of people who are unemployed in one country. That's bad. Okay, Pretoria, June 1, South Africa's unemployment rate rose to a new record of 32.6% in first quarter of 2021, of 32.5% in the final quarter of 2020, in statistics agent said on Tuesday. The rate has the highest since quarterly labor force survey began in 2018. Wow, in 2008. Statistics South Africa put the number of unemployment at 7.242 million people in 3 months to the end of March, up to 7.233 million people in the previous 3 months. South Africa's most industrialized economy has long suffered from extremely high levels of unemployment, trapping millions in poverty and contributing to stark inequalities that persist nearly three decades that after the end of the apartheid in 1994. The COVID-19 pandemic has exacerbated South Africa's labor market woes. Yeah, man. The highest unemployment rate. This is sad, really, because there are a lot of people who are flocking to South Africa, coming here for greener pastures, coming for employment, looking for employment. This is really bad now that the level of employment for South Africans is this high. Wow, 32.6%. That's the highest. This is caused by probably the COVID-19, people losing their job. A lot of industries were closed. This is also caused by looting that was happening in South Africa. These numbers were before the looting, so in the next quarter I'm expecting to see even higher numbers, because a lot of malls are still closed, a lot of warehouses are still closed. Those were broken into and looted by people of South Africa, who are now having the highest unemployment rate. This is still gonna be a high, because those people who are working in those warehouses, those are when thousands of people who are now unemployed. Those people who are working in those malls, there are thousands of those people who are now unemployed. Those numbers will be skyrocketing now. It's crazy. It's really bad. So yeah, man, not gonna be taking a lot of your time. If you enjoy the content of this podcast, please subscribe and click that bell notification button so that you can get the notification as they come. Also check the podcast on Spotify, on Apple Podcast, wherever you get your podcast at. Check the music. Maneza F8 Salvation is out. Just search on YouTube, on Spotify, also on iTunes. That's where it is. So yeah, man. We all are going through a lot in the world. Just always make sure that you keep it real and make sure that people who are around you are taken care of. Fikiria kwa undani ndugu, amaku. One love.